Greetings everyone, Zannrath here, and welcome back to more Everlasting Summer, where last time we finally found out, or rather we gave Cat Girl a name, right? Her name is Yulia, and we also saw this weird, cityscape or whatever encroaching on our, idyllic pastures, I don't know, pioneer camp. Anyways, at first, it was faded, it was made of smoke, but then it became more solid, as if emerging from a fog. Sky City, I thought at once. But, strange or not, there was nothing special about it, just a normal city, plenty of those in the territory of our vast country. You could call it too normal, almost boring. A city you would never pay attention to when passing by it in a car or flying over it in a plane. But to see such a thing, here and now, in the camp, lost in the vast fields and forests of another dimension, where the only life consists of the local pioneers, squirrels, and mosquitoes. Even a cat girl is not that strange compared to this. Saliva kept squeezing my hand tightly. Pioneers whispered around as if afraid to speak in a loud voice, afraid that the illusion would disappear or even the opposite, it would become more real, crushing the little camp Sovionok beneath it. But the city stayed in place, like a white cliff rising above a valley. There was nothing special about it, neither gigantic skyscrapers nor significant architecture constructs, only houses of different colors and different numbers of floors, industrial buildings, and a hospital or something like that. You couldn't make out people or cars from that distance, but I was sure that the city is teeming with its own life, independent from our camp. I wonder if someone there got up on the roof and is looking at us through binoculars, trying to make out the pioneers crowding in the square. Indeed, it seemed like something flashed on one of the tallest buildings in the distance. But, wait a minute. Binoculars. According to my estimations, there were about 2 or 3 kilometers to the city. So if I want to understand something right now, then I need binoculars or a spyglass. I ran to Olga Dmitrievna. Did you see that? Or do you see that too? Yes, of course, she replied as if strained. I need binoculars or a spyglass. The camp leader stopped watching the faraway city for a moment and looked at me uncomprehendingly. Binoculars. Yes, go to the Cybernetics Club. There should be some. I darted off and rushed in the direction of the club's building. Okay, multiple clubs is. Yeah, that makes sense. Oh, hey, we don't even go through the door. It's instantly there. Teleport. Electronic and Shurik were tinkering with something as usual and looked like they knew nothing about the weird stuff happening in the camp, of course. Binoculars, quick! I shouted, trying not to lose my breath. What is it? Haven't you seen it? Ah, damn, you're sitting here with your robot like owls. I didn't know owls sat with robots, but that's cool. Do you have binoculars or a spyglass? I pronounced each word slowly like a caveman who had just learned how to speak. Yeah. Can you calmly explain what this is all about? No time to explain. Give me the binoculars and hurry to the square. The young cyberneticist didn't keep arguing with me, and in a minute we were standing with the rest of the pioneers as I used the binoculars to carefully examine the city, which appeared from God knows where. At first glance, there was nothing special about it, and it gave me an impression of being from my time, the beginning of the 21st century. Ad boards, satellite dishes, pompous shop signs, modern cars. I'm thinking about this, I remember last time I was talking about how, it's real life catching up to you, where, I just wish I could be in this ideal, youthful, no responsibility, whatever moment kind of thing. And then it's this is, real life, bringing you back to reality, right? It's kind of like that kind of theme or motif or whatever the correct literary term is. So that's, I still get the impression, I feel like I get the impression that this is his city, and somehow we're gonna slowly transition, instead of just waking up in our apartment, or in Semyon's apartment rather, it's gonna be a slow, gradual transition from the camp to the city. That's what I'm thinking is gonna happen. Get those to me. The camp leader snatched the binoculars from my hand. So, is that your world? Hey, Yulia. I turned around and saw Yulia standing next to me. Oh, right in front of everyone? I guess, stranger things are happening, right? You said no one should see you. Yes, but she was lost in thought, or maybe no one else can see her, because no one else ate the apple. No one sees me right now, because they're all looking at the thing, or because of the apple thing. The pioneers didn't pay any attention to the strange girl with cat ears, too occupied by watching the far-off city, of course. Do you know what it is and why? No, she answered after a short pause. There was nothing like this before. Nothing at all. And what was there? Well, you came, then left, then came again. And what did you do all that time? Wait, what? There was nothing like this before, nothing at all. And what was there? Well, you came. Okay, yeah. I told you before, I was preparing supplies for the winter. I totally couldn't understand. Does Yulia really not consider the situation even a little bit strange, or is she just good at role-playing? However, who would need to put on such a show for my benefit alone? I am nothing but a guinea pig in a cage. I don't believe you. You should know something. Semyon. I turned to the camp leader. I have no idea what this is all about, but it looks very strange. We should call the police. Olga Dmitryevna reacted in the usual way, like a normal person would in such a situation. I turned back to Yulia to triumphantly inform her about it, but the cat girl had already disappeared. I mean, at this point, do you really expect her to be there when you turn around? What can it be? The camp leader said quietly, not addressing anyone. I don't know if I should tell her about myself, about the future, or about traveling to the past. How do I know that the city really is from my time? Could it just be another illusion, and the behavior of the pioneers is? No, yeah, it is right, yeah. And the behavior of the pioneers is just a part of it. You guys got me there. And what if it isn't? This. I didn't manage to say it anymore. Or didn't manage to say anymore. Cool, cool! Ulyana shouted, appearing from nowhere. Let's go and check it out. Yeah, I'd probably go and try to see what's up. Oh yeah, they must be expecting us. Wait a moment, we should think it over first. Hey look, it's all the girls. That's cool. Lena came up to us, but didn't say anything. What do you think, Semyon? Slavia asked and stared at me, as if expecting an immediate answer. And actually, why should what I think about it matter? What is the difference between me and them which makes me all-knowing? What does it matter that I'm new to this world? The things that are happening are as obscure to me as for any other local. I have no idea. Indeed, let's go and see for ourselves. It doesn't seem to be too far. It doesn't seem to be too far, right? But it's dangerous. Isn't sitting here dangerous too? I don't know, not really. Lena said shyly. All the pioneers and the camp leader looked at her uncomprehendingly. Well, I mean, if that city has appeared so suddenly, then something else could happen too, and She seemed to be getting completely confused, and so she stopped talking. Well, she is right, Alyssa said in a lazy voice. I certainly don't understand what this is all about, but I'm not going to sit here and wait till something else happens. So if no one else is going to, and me, Ulyana interrupted her. Well, what then? What if it's just an illusion? Then we don't lose anything. I was a bit surprised by the locals' urge to find out the nature of this phenomenon, because before they had avoided any conversation related to my appearance in this world. Maybe it's a riddle inside of a riddle, or inside a riddle. Like two enclosed spheres, we are within the shell of the outer one, when everything is clear for them but alien to me, or where everything is clear for them but alien to me, and that city is just the intersection of the two spheres. However, if it is true, then I should be located on the boundary, not knowing anything about one or the other. Olga Dmitryevna was doubtful. Everyone else waited for her approval or strict prohibition. Nothing surprising about that. In the life of the camp organized as Swiss Watch, I don't know what that is, but okay. She was a tyrant and despot. I'm not actually entirely sure how to pronounce it, but despot. But when the boundaries of Sovionok expanded and the mysterious opponent appeared from beyond them, she couldn't keep the reins of power in her hands, started to panic, to feel restless on the throne, which was losing its appeal. This may be the right time to start acting with confidence. I think we should go and check it out. How long should I sit here trying to look for some answers? Where do I find them? In the canteen, in the camp leader's cabin, near the Genda statue? I have nothing to do here, especially when such an opportunity comes across. But Olga Dmitryevna shyly objected. What if we are already dead or something? That's great. I had to motivate the others in some way, but I hadn't decided to tell them about myself. How's that? Dead? An expression of terror filled Lena's face. I'm not talking literally, but anything could happen. We can't tell for sure what is going on here, so any theory has to be considered. Oh man, this kind of just sounds cheesy and stupid. Um, Lena started crying and Savia tried to comfort her. Yeah, that's even more reason why it's kind of stupid. You're just like freaking everyone out now. It's even more fun that way. Coming from the former zombie, right? Although that technically wasn't really real. And here is Ulyana, for whom even death itself may not be a good reason to act calmly. We should go in any case, Alyssa said cheerfully. Let's do it, come on. I turned around and looked at Shrek and Electronic. Well, we'd better stay here to try to measure it, make calculations. I see. I didn't actually expect any help from those two. Then you should get ready. Prepare everything you may need. Olga Dmitryevna started to busy around. Flashlights, warm clothes, walkie-talkie. Do you have a walkie-talkie in the club? She addressed the cyberneticists. They nodded in the affirmative. I wasn't aware you could nod in a negative way, in the sense of opposite of affirmative, not like opposite of positive. Because I always said like you nod is up and down, right? Like yes or affirmative in this case. And then you shake your head when it's no. So, In half an hour, the investigation team gathered at the square. Me, Alyssa, Lena, Slavia, Ulyana. I was given quite a heavy backpack, packed with warm clothes, flashlight, and some other necessities in my hands. I held a packed with warm clothes, flashlights, some other necessities, and in my hands I held a shortwave walkie-talkie. I could certainly manage to walk those 2 or 3 kilometers wearing it on my shoulders, but why not distribute items among everyone? Well, I dropped the backpack on the ground and looked at the camp leader. I am the only man here, and you immobilize me? I feel like that's a question. No, that's not a question. I am the only man here, and you immobilize me. Everyone should carry their own share. The girls hesitated. The first one to come to the backpack was Ulyana. She took a flashlight and a warm jacket, grousing. The rest of them followed her example. I didn't expect such boldness from myself, and expected even less from them to agree without question. Even the local pioneers may try to behave logically in critical situations. After a couple of minutes, we were at the camp's gates. I hope you understand that I can't go with you. I have to look after the others, and it's alright. You don't need to explain. Of course, we weren't expecting you to. You're not part of the main heroine bunch, right? Because this is basically all the ladies, minus, Miku and Yulia, whom, aren't part of the main group. We had to unlock them. I didn't count on Olga Dmitryevna's help, especially as there was some truth in her words. Good luck, and don't forget that you have the radio. Alright, are we gonna just loop around like the movie? The summer sun scorched us mercilessly. The warm sweater in the bag seemed a kind of The warm sweater in the bag seemed a kind of mockery. I would give it and all the flashlights and even the walkie-talkie away in exchange for the camp leader's Panama hat and a bottle of water. That's right, they didn't pack any water, did they? Or like food, or like rations even. And why didn't anyone think of bringing, a water flask? A water flask. Oh, that's kind of funny. Oh, there were less and less clothes on Alyssa with every passing minute. Of course. By the time we get there, she's probably going to be in like her bathing suit. I wouldn't put it past everyone just be like in their bathing suit by the time we get there, just for like the visual what you call it, feast, I suppose. Let's have a rest. I slowed down, shaded my eyes with my palm, and looked in the direction of the city, which was to the right of us. Don't see it, but that's cool. It didn't seem to be an inch closer. Why not head straight to it? Ulyana said out annoyed. How is that? Straight through the forest and the fields? I don't mind. Even that would be better than making detours. I mean, if you go through the woods and the forest or whatever, it seems like it's really sunny, right? So, wouldn't be too bad, unless you get lost, or bears, or cat girl, Yulia. It would be quicker to go by road. Look, it makes a turn there. Xavia tried to reason with her. Do as you wish. Alyssa flopped down in the grass by the roadside. I'll take a break. We settled in the shade of a small bush near the power line. I took out the binocular and looked at the city. The multi-story building still shined in the distance. Why aren't we getting closer, or is it the heat which is creating an optical illusion? Is it Yulia? Yeah, it is. A nearby bush rattled lightly. not brush. A nearby bush rustled lightly. I turned around and saw a pair of cat ears sticking out of it. Wait, I'll be back in a moment. Having walked around the bushes, I gestured to Yulia to follow me, and only after making sure we had enough distance from the others that they wouldn't see us did I speak. So, are you watching us? Well, of course. I'm interested too. Or I am interested too. Ah, I see. And you surely don't know what awaits us there, do you? Surely don't. She smiled. And you have no idea why don't we get any closer to the city? Actually, I do. Yulia replied calmly. Why then? Because you can't leave this place. Ah, okay, that makes sense. That explains the movie too. I sighed heavily as usual and leaned against the lone tree. Wait, hold on. Oh yeah, never mind. It's always on day 7 where we can actually leave, right? I was gonna say, didn't we walk with Alyssa and we got out of here? But then again, we took the bus and left all the other times too, right? Maybe it's the right time to tell me everything. She got lost in thought. It was different before. You came and then you left and then you came again. And even if you went out so far, it was all the same. And that city is your world. Why do you always refer to it as my world? Because it's not of this place. I don't know. I really like this this frame of her, this shot. Her eyes look correct, I guess. I don't know. For some reason, I always felt like some of her other eyes look kind of funny on her face. Yulia was exasperated. What is this place? Can you be any clearer? I certainly wasn't mad at her. It seemed to me that the cat girl wasn't hiding anything important, but she just did not understand the questions or did not know the answers. I don't know. Alright, let's do it step by step. How long have you been here? Always. I was going to say I don't know. Always is too complex of a definition for a human. Though you are probably not human. I was lost in thoughts. And what am I doing here? You were always here too. Oh. That's kind of interesting. Not exactly sure what to make of that quite yet, but we'll move on. How's that possible? Oh, wait, hold on. What if when she says always, so I'm gonna guess maybe that means that this place does not exist outside of us, right? So it's not like we transport to another dimension. This is just, like, when we dream and we manifest this, that is when it exists. Therefore, before any of this happened, it did not exist, and that's why she was always there. And since I was there on day 1, I was always there too. So maybe that's what it's talking about. How is that possible? Did I duplicate myself? Because I don't remember anything like that. Well, it's like, it is you, and it's like, it's not you. There are many of you. Oh. I don't know. And you are the only one? I am the only one. Yulia smiled amiably and waved her tail. One for all my parallel selves? Something like that. So, are you like omnipotent? I didn't manage to find a better word for it. I don't know. Do you have any supernatural abilities? Can you fly, throw fireballs, or teleport? I can make supplies for the winter. That's funny. I like that response. You're a little sassy little one, aren't you? She answered in a serious tone. Let's consider that a no. And what is the purpose of all this? I don't know. If I was rather calm at first, then after all these I don't knows, I started to lose my temper. You know, Semyon, I heard Saliva shouting. I turned around, and when I looked back at the place where Yulia was standing, she had already disappeared. There you go again. I gnashed my teeth and went back to the girls. We had been walking for several hours, but the city was still in the same place. It wasn't getting even a meter closer to or further away from us. I told you we should go straight to it. Shut up. I don't understand. Could it really be an illusion? Lena, who hadn't muttered a word before, said. No, even an illusion in the desert does appear to be close enough to it. Probably. I think so. Yeah, I'd buy that. So, what now? Elsa said, outraged. I am sick and tired of this. Let's go back. You're the one who wanted to go. What? What is this? If you want, go if you want. Nobody's stopping you. Alyssa snarled at her, or Slavia snarled at her. Everyone looked at her in surprise, right? Because she usually doesn't get angry, right? It was really strange to hear such things from the role model pioneer. Why are you always so unsatisfied with everything? You don't like it. Get your ass back. Like I asked you, Alyssa said uncertainly. Well, she's right. Lena cut into the conversation. I'm fed up with your whining. Did you just punch someone? No, Ulyana got scared and hid behind me. Oh, you're just here to look better at someone else's expense. Sure, it's easy to stand out with me in the background. Oh, trust me. Uh-oh. Is he gonna punch you in the face again? Let's do it. You won't be able to stand after what I'll do to you now. Yep, there you go. Up. Lena rushed at Alyssa, but Slavia stood between them. Hell no, let me go first. Oh, she's gonna punch Alyssa first? Stop it! Ulyana yelled in tears. I had no idea what to do in a situation, but I couldn't let them fight. Boom! However, I didn't have to interfere. Yulia jumped out from nowhere, got between the girls, and hissed in a rage. Oh man, that's gonna be interesting to explain. It shouldn't be like this. This is not right. You must not act like that. It is not your purpose. Oh, our purpose, huh? Now things are getting interesting. The girls jumped back. Alyssa squealed. Slavia adopted some kind of fighting position. And Lena was holding a knife, which she pulled from God knows where. Oh god. Lena, you're some crazy bitch, aren't you? Oh my god, she was holding a knife. She was gonna stab Alyssa. Oh my god. Wow, that is crazy. Oh my god, you were really gonna stab Alyssa? I wonder if it's that cleaver from the movie. Who are you? Who is it? What is it? I couldn't tell if she was addressing Yulia or me. Wait. I stood between them and the cat girl. I can explain everything. It's like I'm making excuses. To who and for what? She should explain everything. The girls relaxed a bit. Well, have you heard of the legend of the cat girl? So, this is... Yulia kept hissing, but more quietly. She knows. Slavia said coldly. She knows what the city is. She knows everything! She knows nothing. I know nothing. Yulia confirmed. Did you ask her properly? Alyssa stood up and cracked her knuckles. Are you gonna, like, beat her up now or something? What the hell are you doing? Stop it at once. First the bus, the camp, then you, then her, now that damn city. I started yelling, gritting my teeth, sparks probably flying from my eyes. Enough is enough. I've had it with the damned uncertainty. Either you explain what is happening here, or I won't move an inch from here. Kill me if you want, I don't care. Who's he talking to? Talking to the girls? Like, the main four? Do you think I can put up with anything? That I would pretend that there is nothing happening and I understand nothing regardless of what you do? I don't care. Everything has a limit. I finished my speech more calmly, having lost my breath from yelling. Oh man, why did it fade to red? That's weird. The blood hammered in my temples. Okay, that makes sense, I guess. The world became darker for one moment. Then the next, it painted itself with unimaginable colors. Girls looked at me with surprise and even with fear. Yulia stopped hissing and looked indifferent, and again looked indifferent to everything around her. Ah, that's a very good, yeah, that's I don't know. I think that's a good way to describe what this face is. It's just indifferent. Yeah. Alright. I declared and started to walk along the road in the direction of the city, which moved a step further away for every step I took. No one followed me. The sun started setting beyond the horizon, and the city, still visible in the east, was little by little being absorbed by mist. I couldn't tell where it is really located because the fields ahead were disrupted by forest, but its buildings still rose above them as the central element of the diorama. The city stood mute, as if hovering over the world, looking down with silent reproach at my trivial attempts to reach it. According to my calculations, I'd walked much more than 2 or 3 kilometers, which was the theoretical distance to the city. I stopped to rest in the shade a couple of times, and the evening coolness became my savior. However, there could be no city at all, and I'm just running like a hamster in a wheel, feeling the exhaustion of the distance I covered, but with my destination somewhere outside the cage. I remembered yesterday's thoughts about the key hanging right under the ceiling. It would certainly be useful to me now. Maybe there are no answers at all. I am too tired to even think about it. Plus that enraged outburst with the girls. Ah, screw it. I sat down on the side of the road, raising a little dust storm from the ground which covered me and made me cough. Tears filled my eyes. Hey, when I opened them again, Yulia stood before me. There seems to be an advantage to being a cat. You move much faster than humans. Where are you doing? Or where are you going? She asked, paying no attention to my words. I'm going right there. I waved my hand in the direction of the city. But why? Where are the others? They went back to camp. I see. So why are you going there? Because. I got lost in thought. What else is there to do? What will happen if I just sit here? Nothing. That's what I mean. Yulia looked at me intently and sat beside me. I would like to help. She suddenly said in a quiet voice, Then help! I don't know how. Tell me about that city, about this world. Why am I here? How do I get back? I don't know. Well, I mean, it always was like that. You come to the camp in a bus, spend a week here, and then, regardless of the outcome, everything repeats. And there are many of you. They are all different. Exactly, right? Because we all, every time we play through and we go with a different route, right? Like, we learn a little bit something, we learn something different, and we apply that to our life, and, it takes us in a different way. So, anyways, what do you mean, different? I like how meta this game is, right? It's like, hey, that time when you played through the other 4 times, or the other 5 times, right? Or, yeah, 6 times maybe, if you can include Semyon and Miku's, right? It's like all those different times you played, they have an effect on this story right now. Not like you. You're the only one like this. That's why I can talk to you and the others just don't understand. What don't they understand? They disappear sometimes. Yulia kept talking, ignoring my questions. That's the way things should be. I have no idea why, but they should. They do not remain here after 7 days, but then new ones come who are just like the previous ones. Everyone is the same in the beginning, almost the same. The difference comes after each time, especially when they have understood that everything should repeat itself again and again. Does that mean I am destined to walk in circles too? Yeah, that's why she led you in circles that one time in the forest, right? It's symbolic. I don't know. This time it's different. Why does it all happen? Who are those others? She looked at me everyone looks at people uncomprehendingly. I think it's a new face. Shocked. But they're you. What do you mean me? You and all those others. She groused, trying to find the right words. You're all the same. So, are they clones of me or something? What are clones? Copies. Like 2 identical mushrooms you prepare for the winter. Oh, there you go. There are no 2 identical mushrooms, Yulia said seriously. Imagine that they are. Identical mushrooms? Maybe, I don't know. God, this is a nightmare. I put my head on my knees and closed my eyes. We sat in silence for several minutes. I really wanted to understand what was on Yulia's mind. After all, even if she really knows nothing, then she should at least have some thoughts about the things that are happening. Okay, what should I do? I asked in a serious tone. She looked at me uncomprehendingly again. And what would you advise me to do? I don't know. What would you do in my place? Me? In your place? But that wouldn't ever happen. Yulia laughed loudly. You are you and I am me. Just imagine it. You have your mind, then you should have an imagination. Well, I wouldn't change anything. Why not? Because it is the way of things. It's better and less troubling this way. So it is less troubling to sit in this camp and wait for the endless repetitions? Yes. I couldn't agree with that, just couldn't. As long as it's in my power to change something, or even just to try, I have to act. I rose up from the ground and marched forward towards the city, visible in the crimson rays of the faraway sun. Oh hey! Did we actually get somewhat closer? This is a new scene. The road took a sudden turn at last. The buildings, which were just rising above the trees before, disappeared from my sights, and the country landscape in front of me was replaced by industrial suburbs. It was dark already. Scattered bright stars filled the sky, still visible from where I stood, but disappeared above the city, which was full of distant lights from windows and street lamps. A silent, dark night reigned behind me, interrupted only by the warbling of a sleeping night bird, the rustle of grass, and the monotonous buzzing of insects. while in front of me there was a human anthill. That sounds weird. A human anthill which couldn't stop talking even for a minute, happily winking with thousands of lights and shouting with millions of voices. I think it's referring to the city, right? Okay, maybe. The road I walked seemed stranger. It was empty, as if deserted, used by neither cars nor people, like a narrow path leading away from this world into another one. Yulia walked in silence behind me all this time. "Why are you here?" I asked quietly. "I have to be with you." Oh, that's romantic. Maybe. Why? Or creepy. "It's strange. The city always was on the right side, and now it's in front of us." She ignored my question. "Not much stranger than everything else. I've walked about 10 or 20 kilometers, and it is still so far away." "Far away?" "We may never reach it." I stopped and tried to imagine what awaits me there. Is that city similar to my home one? What is its architecture like? Who lives there? And why did I come to the conclusion that there are any people there? That it isn't just an illusion, one of the lame tricks of the sick world. Even Yulia says that she's seeing all this for the first time. Walkie-talkie. Suddenly, the walkie-talkie I still had with me made a nasty sound, and the agitated voice of Olga Dmitrievna said, "Semyon, do you copy? Semyon!" After a moment, I pushed the button and answered. "Yes." "Semyon, so much is happening. Come back at once." What is happening? What happened?" I asked without much interest. The camp leader, the pioneers, the whole camp was left far behind, not just a dozen kilometers, but much further. I wonder if I can see the camp. Everything that happened in the last few days lost any meaning, like a nightmare you start to forget. Now, when there was a real world in front of me, I had no other choice but to believe that when I reach that city, everything will end. "Semyon, hurry! There's no time to explain. It's a disaster!" Uh-oh. The static grew stronger, drowning out the camp leader's voice. "Will you go?" Yulia asked, agitated. "Where? Back there? No, why would I? But you want me to go back?" "I don't know. What do you want?" "Really? What do I want? To get to the city, what I've been doing this whole day, or something more global to escape this world? And what if something bad actually happened back there?" That sent a flash of pain in my head. Something happened to Slavia, to Lena, to Olyana, even to Alyssa. And why is the question, why would I care, not bothering me now? But yes, I do care. I got so much closer with them recently, I had really got used to the life of the camp. But what will happen to the city? Will it disappear, or as suddenly as it appeared? I think I might have bumped the mic. Sorry about that if I did. And what if everything went the way Yulia described? No, I should not allow it. The walkie-talkie hissed, but I didn't want to turn it off in case I heard something again. "So, what have you decided?" I had to make a decision. Boom! Decision time. Alright, I think this is a good split point, right? Because this is one ending versus the other. So let's go ahead and save that. Boom. And we'll go ahead and see what's up. I think I'm going to go with keep going first, because isn't that what happened with Semyon and he got mauled by the bear? My hypothetical bear, right, when I followed the voice. And then going back was going to the bus, right? So, yeah, we'll see what's up. But we're almost there. Like, yeah, it's right here. It's right before us. And we should be able to get to it, hopefully, right? Maybe. Yeah, and we'll see what all this means next time. So until then, thank you for watching. Bye.